Welcome guys, it is the AXEMAn here, and today I am going to be giving you my top 10 tips and tricks for Jurassic World Evolution 2. So I've been playing this for a couple weeks already and I've made a lot of mistakes, but I have learned from them and I'm going to pass that information on to you lot. Now, you might already know a lot of this stuff, but there might help a few of you out there that maybe missed parts of the tutorial or didn't really understand it fully. So this should help you, should help the park make a profit, maybe prevent dinosaurs from breaking out and help you get through the chaos mode and the challenge and stuff like that. So they're not in any particular order, we're just going to go through them all. So if you find it helpful at all, make sure you're whacking a like on the video, make sure you're subscribing. Yeah, let me know down below which ones that helped you, that you didn't know about and stuff, and yeah, let's just crack on and get into it. So kicking us off then is going to be electricity. Now, I did say this was not in any order, but I do feel this is one of the most important things. So when you start on like your challenge modes and a handful of the chaos modes, you will just be given a backup generator to power your park. So the first thing you want to do is research electricity. Pop down a science center, get to your research and do electricity as quick as you can, because the backup generators, they power a little area, but you have to like put fuel in them, and to refill it, it costs like $500,000, which is a lot of money when you're trying to start out and put all these dinosaurs and tour rides in, and it will drain your money really, really quick. So you want to get your power station researched, you want to whack that down and connect it all with pylons, kind of like how you do in the first one. It is going to be costing you a lot less than it does with having backup generators. I made the mistake when I first played by having a few backup generators at first before I researched all the electrics, and it cost me a shit ton of money. So yeah, the first thing you want to do when you start is get to that research and get some electricity to power your park so you're not wasting any money. So second on the list then is going to be editing or customizing your food and drink shops and stuff. So once you place them down, there'll be a customize button at the bottom, and you can change what type of shop it is, what it sells, but you can also add stuff, so like a fish tank or a fountain, a selfie spot. Now all of these boost different type of customers and attract more customers and get more money. So once you have a few customers coming in, it will show you what type of customers like the most popular, so you want to cater for them so you can maximize your profits. You can turn a big profit on these. I went from making a couple hundred profit to like 20,000 on just a small shop. Obviously when you get to the bigger ones, the large ones, you can make something like 60,000 for each individual shop if they're placed in the right place, they've got the right customers. So definitely make use of these, because this will turn a good profit, and then you've got more money to spend on dinosaurs and getting all their crazy genetics and skin colors and stuff. And yeah, just don't forget about this. All that money adds up to your profits. So in at number 3 then, we're going to go for dino traits. So when you're incubating a dino and you're getting it ready to release, you get to pick which eggs you want to hatch out of the batch of them. Now, you can choose all of them if you want, but there is dino traits to them. Sometimes they're positive, sometimes, it means they won't attack people, they won't attack the rangers, but you can get negative ones, and you do have to look out for these because sometimes it can mess up your whole like enclosure. So for example, for me, I had some trikes, and one of these trikes had a trait which meant it would fight for dominance with the other trikes a lot. It also had a trait that made it 30% weaker than the rest of them. So this poor trike, I think in the end, she lived for a very long time. She had like 10 fights, lost every single one of them, covered in scars, bless her. But every 10 minutes, she had to go to the doctors. We had to keep tranquilizing her, taking her to the doctors because she had some sort of like broken bone or organ blew up or something like that. I've had this with some compies, I think, as well, and it just becomes a bit of a ball ache. You're just constantly tranking them out and taking to the doctors, and you're trying to focus on your park and build up, but like there's every 10 minutes there's this dino getting hurt, and it can be really time consuming when you're trying to get other stuff done. So just take in consideration what dinos with the traits are going to be in that enclosure, because you don't want to be spending all your time focused on these couple dinos when you've got a whole park to run and expand and stuff like that. So in at number 4 then is going to be, it might sound really simple, but plan where you're going to place all your buildings and your enclosures. So there's two different things I mean by this. Number one is when you make an enclosure and you have like your viewing gallery or viewing platform, people want shops around that. As soon as you've got a gallery anywhere, that people flock to that, but when they flock to that, they also want to eat and drink and shop. So you've got to make sure there's enough room there to place all your shops and all your hotels and whatnot. I've seen people make mistakes, I do it as well all the time, is where you have a path between two enclosures and people want, like the customers want their food and drink placed there or the bathrooms and there's just no space for it. And then they end up like losing a bit of happiness and stuff and that can affect your rating. The other thing I mean is kind of like have a plan on where you want stuff before you start placing things. You don't want to get to the end where you're trying to get 5 stars and you've got like a massive section where there's just no room to build new shops, and it's gonna affect the customer rating, which does affect your ratings, your star ratings and stuff. So what you want to do is kind of have areas where you're like, this is where all my shops are going to go, next to it this is where this enclosure is going to go. Just kind of have a little plan in head. The good thing about Jurassic World 2 is you can move buildings, so definitely utilize that because that is going to help you just get from that 4.5 to the 5-star. So in at number 5 then is going to be having multiple ranger stations and multiple hospitals. So in the first game, I don't believe you could have more than one, but the second one lets you have multiple ones. And you're going to want to use this, especially as your park gets bigger. It's going to be hard for the rangers to kind of cover all the ground, as well as having additional tasks on like fixing fences and whatnot. And if you have, say, at the entrance, you've got your rangers, and then the other side of the map, there's a dino that needs whatever it needs. It's going to take a long time for your rangers to get there. So the best thing to do is have multiple ranger stations located maybe on the edges or in the middle of your map, and just kind of give them a couple enclosures each rather than have one ranger team doing every single enclosure, because it's just going to take them way too long. And again, this helps with your hospitals. If you've got loads of dinosaurs, you have multiple sick dinos, you can send them and get treatment for both of them at the same time. Tranking dinos out. If you've got a big breakout, it happens, and there's like 7 dinos running around. You've got 2, maybe even 3 ranger helicopters that can trank them out, get them back in their enclosure like really quick. You've got rangers to fix the fence. It's all about damage control and stuff. So yeah, as soon as you think you need it, get that second ranger station placed down. So in at number 6 is going to be a super simple one that I'm pretty sure everyone will know, but just take care of your dinos. If you don't give them their needs, if you don't give them enough space, the right food, they will constantly break out and it will just cause your park a problem. Also, check what dinos they like, what they're compatible with, because you can save a lot of space by having dinos that like each other in the same enclosure. Then that means more dinos, that means a better rating, the customers are happier. Also, just check, don't have dinos that don't like each other in the same enclosure, because then they're going to fight, they're going to get moody, and they're going to start breaking out again. So yeah, super simple one, just look after your dinos. So in at number 7, this is from personal experience, is make sure you save up a bit of money. Don't spend every last dollar you have. If a Rex hatching costs like 2 million and you only have 2 million, don't do that, because this game will punish you. It's happened a couple times to me. Storms, tornadoes will wreck your park and will ruin you financially. So you need to make sure you have enough money to repair all of them buildings. I had a storm hit my park, which was a 4.5 star. I only had 3 million cash spare. Tornado hit, ruined all my gates, dinos everywhere, eating customers. Customers were angry, they left. I was then negative money. All my power stations had broke. Didn't have any backup generators because I was a noob, and I just couldn't afford to repair anything. I couldn't afford to put dinos back and repair the gates because I had no money. So it will ruin you. So just make sure you have some spare money just to at least repair your electricity and a few gates. Other buildings can wait, but just make sure you've got that little, buffer of cash. Unless you want to risk it all, then by all means, do what you want. So in at number 8, this is another really simple one, but use your management view to get the best profits. The management view will tell you exactly where the customers want their buildings, their shopping places, their bathrooms, their shelters. Look at this all the time, but pretty much it's simple. If you have a viewing platform people are going to want shops and stuff around there. So build sort of little shopping centers, I guess, and hotels close to viewing platforms. But check the management view regularly. You can see what buildings are making profits. You can see where overcrowding is. Just make use of it and you'll be able to make a profit and keep your customers happy. Super simple. Most of you should be doing that anyway. So in at number 9, we're going to go for the tour rides, which are the cars or the gyro spears. Number 1, you want to plan ahead for these. They can be very like fidgety to do once you've kind of got a park ready and it's thriving already, because it's a little hard to get over and connected to pathways. It always says, you know, there's the cornering's too sharp or whatnot. If you've built your enclosures too small and there's a lot of water in there, it can't pass over the water. So you just kind of got to plan ahead, make sure there's a lot of space between the pathways and enclosures and stuff like that. Also, the second one is you can increase the amount of cars that go through your enclosures, but if you increase it too many and you have too many cars passing through, like the Rex enclosure, for example, the Rex will start getting angry. He doesn't want cars driving through every 5 seconds. So just be aware on how many cars that are going through these enclosures. The dinosaurs will get angry and they will try and break out and eat the people, and we don't want that. So in at number 10 then, it's going to be the staff or the scientists that work for you. So number 1, you want to keep them happy. Make sure they're getting plenty of rest on the staff rooms. Also, when you're hiring them, obviously they have their stats. Don't just look at the stats, look also at their ability. They always have like ability, maybe it's quicker research, incubation's cheaper. Make sure you're looking at these and try and get a balance. So you've got one that makes, you know, incubation cheaper, one to make research cheaper. Try and get one of each of this just to save you some money or speed things up. And then also you can level these up. So they might have like low stats to begin with, but if they've got a balance on them all, you can level them all up and they can become an all-round good researcher, good incubator, good expeditionist. Just make sure you're researching constantly to upgrade your staff to make them better, because further down the line, you are going to need level 3 staff to incubate like your Mosas and your T-Rexes, your bigger stuff like that. So yeah, just keep an eye on them, keep them happy, make sure you're leveling them up, which is done in the staff center, and make sure you're kind of getting a balance of them like abilities, because it can save you a lot of money, especially when you get to the big stuff again, like the Mosa and the Rex. You could get that for half price if you're lucky. So there we go then. That is my top 10 like tips and tricks for you as you're starting to play Jurassic World Evolution 2. Like I said, you might know a lot of these already. Maybe 1 or 2 of them be like, oh, you know what, I'll give that a try, see if that helps. But if you have any tips or tricks, whack them down in the comment section for other new players to look at. Maybe you've got a better list than me. Maybe you're all big smarts and you're making a killing, making so much money and you're getting 5 stars within an hour of a park. If you do, hit me up, man, because I want to know how you're doing it. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you whack the like on it. Make sure you're subscribing, you're ringing the bell, enabling the notifications. And yeah, thank you very much for hanging out. I'll catch you all in a bit. See you later.